we was continuing our one-on-one interview here with Epic Failure TV1 with our special host here, special guest, Mr. Brian Slade. And we were on our current question with Mr. Creative One. So you can go ahead and take it away.
I wanted to ask you about your opinion on Brandy. She's one of my favorite female vocalists of all time. She's just great at what she does, and I would like to hear what you think about her and her very, very.
Um, she's in a very, very, very awkward place. I thought that the Brandy Ray J reality show was going to be a great vehicle for her to address many of the issues that were kind of overlooked in the past, which is, I think, what was the beginning of, I don't want to say the downfall, but where people kind of, they didn't have the right answers. And I thought that it was really good that she made the choices that she made. But one way that we never ever get to people's art is if they're truculent with the media. And I feel like, hopefully there's another season, but I think that if she comes completely full, not just an interview per se, but an album, which I thought she was beginning to open up and peel back some of the layers of that onion on Human. But it still was a little bit too surface, and we wanted that record that where she addressed all the things that we needed to have addressed, and secondly, that she really just let us have it. We have not experienced that since Full Moon. I still do not believe that vocalists have moved on from that R&B Bible. That was the R&B Bible for vocal choices, for arrangements. LaShawn Daniels, Rodney Jerkins, Anisha, everyone who worked on that project literally created a template that it is still being used now, and I'm kind of getting tired of it as much as I appreciate it, but it's 10 years of the same type of stuff. And only Brandy can really deliver it in that way, because I believe that's really who she is. But let's go back to the first album. We cannot talk about where she's about to go until we realize how much of a beast. I consider her a beast. I think that word is used entirely too loosely. Brandy is truly a beast. Her 14-year-old vocals on that first album, on songs like Moving On and Always on My Mind, and just, there was no auto-tune out at that time. I mean, there was Antares, but there was no auto-tune. If you don't believe that Brandy's the truth, go back to the first album. The things that she was doing back then at 14, and the choices that she was making, and the instructions that she was taking from Keith Crouch and Sauce and all of the ones who produced on that record, was sheer brilliance. Never say never. We see Brandy moving into, I'm not sure if I want to come back into the vocal game because I'm doing so well on television, and you can tell that it was cute, but it wasn't, she wasn't fully sure of herself at that time because she got a little comfortable with the acting side. But Full Moon, I didn't know what happened, but something happened. I don't know. But she single-handedly changed the entire vocal game. And a lot of people, forget the lead vocals, they are not giving her enough credit for those background vocals. Those in themselves are nothing but sheer genius. And most folks don't even notice it unless they've smoked a couple L's, and then they realize what's going on with those background vocals. But this is absolutely crazy, like nuts. Now, people also sleep. I know this is a long answer, but you talked about Brandy, and I'm a fan. Aphrodisiac was where we actually get to saw her basement, and it was stripped down because Full Moon was definitely beat driven. Aphrodisiac was beat driven, but there was more of an open space for her to paint. And I really felt that people at that point weren't allowing her to grow as a vocalist, because Full Moon actually was released 10 years too soon. And that's the God's truth. Full Moon is supposed to come out in 2012. That album was so ahead of everything. Even now to this day, you go back to that album, there is nothing out right now in the marketplace that sees the production, arrangements, her vocals. Nothing can see Full Moon. Nothing. So unless she's going to come with that and higher, and I'm not saying that it can only be accomplished with Dark Child, but we cannot deny the formula.
Definitely.
That's a choice that either she's going to have to make or Rod's going to have to make. I don't know, but I do know that somebody has to lay aside pride and weights and beefs and say the magic only happens when these forces come together. Because if it's not a Full Moon 2 or a sequel of that kind of caliber, then go back to acting. And kill that too, because she can do that too if she wants to. Her and Ray J can do a sitcom right now and everybody would watch it. But if you're going to jump back in that booth, if the formula is not jacked, we'll find someone who can give you something that, and I know she wants brand new as well, because she can spit as well. Don't get it twisted. Everyone gives her a hard time, but she can really spit. You can have portions of that incorporated into the new record, but you cannot break up formulas. You cannot break up formulas. That's fine. Janet, she went to different producers and tried different things, and Brandy went to different producers and tried different things, but none of them have seen the type of magic that happens when the original firecracker, whatever sparked it off, you gotta go back to your first works and never mess with that formula. And I'm sorry that the answer is so long. I don't want Brandy thinking she has to go and prove anything, but if she is going to jump back in that booth because we really know what she's capable of, then it's going to have to be at that level. I saw some footage from her performing overseas live with her band. She murdered. I mean, hands down, the way her stage show, her performance has definitely grown. And a lot of people don't know that during the Full Moon era, the album was amazing, but Brandy's stage presence wasn't as confident as what I've seen in the past 3 months overseas. If she brings that with a Full Moon 2 type album, yeah, it's really, people are ready for that right now.
Yes. And I didn't come here to talk. I'm dressed too good for all that. I'ma move this hair.